Excellencies, let me start by saying that I'm very honored to be one of the women presenting here today. In this perfect setting, at this perfect timing, with the cherry blossom framed by the blue mountain, but also the still water. You couldn't find a better place. Ladies and gentlemen, the competing needs of water and the complexity in the society of using this limited resource for energy, food, and water needs to be addressed in a comprehensive way. We need to develop good governance. In my home country, Sweden, we have just taken an important step in this direction by actually creating a joint Ministry of Environmental and Energy. This is enabling us to do and to develop a holistic approach when we're combating many of those issues we address here today. We need to strengthen and to show the link from land-based activities all the way from the source to sea. Measures made on land will affect all waters, from groundwater and freshwater, through coastal waters all the way to the sea. And we heard today that desalination seems to be one solution for the water scarcity putting pressure on the ocean as well. And therefore, we also need to connect and cooperate across the sectors. In this context, we need transparent planning of our resources, such as it is a very essential tool. And the Swedish government stresses the need to develop and implement the water, food, energy nexus wherever it's possible and applies to it. Water is a shared resource, and therefore we also need to improve cooperation across the borders on transboundary waters, both to avoid conflicts and to avoid natural disasters. It really is a benefit for all of us. So the Swedish government is actively promoting the transboundary issues. We have ratified and support the 2 global conventions on transboundary waters that our Finnish colleague just mentioned. And Sweden supports the work on transboundary issues through our newly established UNESCO Category 2 Center in Stockholm. This international center for water cooperation, with the focus on transboundary water management in connection with peace, conflicts, and regional development. Secondly, global partnership. Water connects humans, countries, and continents. It is shared resource and shared responsibility, both geographically and organizational. Water scarcity is an enormous threat to also the industries in many different sectors. Whereas smart companies, they need to know how to use the water. And they also look into the supply chain and see how much water they use. They're also aware of the importance of using due diligence in a transparent way. And responsible water usage is clearly a competitive advantage, and it will pay off for both sustainable business models, but also finding new business models. The private sector has an important role to play clearly. They do have the technology, the competence, but also the investment ability that sometimes governments lacks. Therefore, we need to use this dynamic force to come up with innovative solutions to reduce, reuse, and recycle water usages. Clearly, we need a global partnership on water. We need to improve collaboration between all stakeholders, countries, governments, and NGOs, private sector scientists, and also, of course, the local communities. It's necessary to work in a transparent way and empower the people. One key word is capacity building. It's through capacity building and sharing of knowledge and good examples that we can reach engagement and really make progress. But we also would like to underline the importance of giving all people, and particularly women and children, access to adequate and sustainable sanitation solutions. But we also have to put policies in practice. And therefore, we also need to walk the talk. This includes empowering women, and as my colleague from South Africa also mentioned earlier, to include women in fora such as this. Water as a resource is fundamental for poverty reduction. Therefore, of course, we also support the SDG on water to ensure availability and sustainable management of water. and sanitation for all. We also need to support the link and integration of environmental, ocean, water into the SDG goals, wherever it's relevant, and really work towards an intersectorial approach. To sum up, in January, the World Economic Forum published the report Global Risk 2015. In that report, water crisis was classified as the greatest social and economic risk factor in the coming 10 years. And together we must fight to make sure that the water is shared and respected resource and not becoming a threat to us. So let me end by congratulating the organizers for a very successful event. Thank you.